you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out probably one of the greatest rock guitar intros ever. It is, of course, Sweet Child of Mine, played by the legend that is Slash. So a couple of things I want to mention quickly before we get stuck into the lesson, and the first one is the tuning. Now I'm in E-flat tuning, which means that each string of my guitar has been detuned by one semitone. That's a fairly important thing. It won't sound right if you try and play along with the original recording or play along with me in normal tuning, okay? So you need to know how to do that. The reason that I've chosen to do an E-flat tuning when I normally do my lessons in regular tuning is there's a lot of string bending coming up in later parts of this lesson when we look at the solos, and it's a little easier to do the string bends when you're in E-flat tuning, and because I've been practicing it as well, if I suddenly put myself in regular tuning, my bending might become a bit wonky, and that's not really something that either of us probably want in the lesson. So that's the first thing to mention. If you're not sure how to do it, over on my website, do a search for Sweet Child of Mine. It'll have a lot more info on how to do the tuning and the equipment that I'm using, something I always get to ask about. For this, I'm using a Les Paul, which is what Slash uses, and importantly, I'm using the front pickup, okay, the neck pickup. All of the knobs are all on 10, but importantly, I've got this selected for this front pickup because that's a big part of the sound there. I'm using an amp profile for the Appetite for Destruction Marshall amplifier, so I haven't had to do much tweaking of the settings, and I'm using just a little bit of reverb from a pedal's the only effect that I'm using. So more details of that over on the website as well. And the third thing I want to mention quickly is this is a revised lesson. I did do a lesson on this song a long time ago, but the fingering was completely wrong. I'm really sorry on that old version. I didn't have it right at all, and I've done quite a lot of research now on this song. So for all of the different parts, all of the solos and stuff, I've really done a lot of watching of how Slash does it, and I've got some real little tips for you about what picking Slash uses. I do it slightly differently myself, but I'm really going to go into quite a bit of detail on how to play this song exactly right. So we're going to do it one step at a time. So let's go to a close-up, and first of all, check out the left hand. Okay, let's take this one little chunk at a time. So the very first chunk we're going to check out is this. It's just 4 notes, okay? First finger in the 12th fret of the 4th string. Third finger in the 15th fret of the 2nd string. Second finger in the 14th fret of the 3rd string. And first finger in the 12th fret of the 3rd string, okay? Now, just while you're learning these finger patterns, I'd recommend just using all down picks, and we're going to talk about the picking that you should be using to practice the riff in a second, okay? So, just while you're learning the fingers, use all down or all up, whatever floats your boat really, it doesn't matter at this point, okay? But just make sure you get these 4 notes right. Make sure you've got them from memory. And the second half of the riff is... So third finger in the 15th fret thinner string, second finger in the 14th fret of the 3rd string, and then third finger moves back to the 14th fret of the thinner string, and then back to second finger, 14th fret of the 3rd string. That was chunk 1. Chunk 2. Put them together. Now you want to practice doing this nice and slow, but consistently. You don't want to have like... Try and get the tempo even if it's just slow. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the picking now, because all of the rest of the riff is all based off of this. So the first thing to notice is I always thought that it was alternate picking. So you'd go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. But it's actually fairly difficult to do that, okay? Give it a try yourself. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Particularly that part, doing a down on the thinner string and then an up here. It's a little bit tricky under the fingers. You know, it's possible, and I played it that way for a long time. But in researching for doing this video, I saw some close-ups of Slash, actually how he picked it. And he's going down, up, 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 down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up, down. And he's really consistent about it, okay? So I started using that picking, and actually I do find it a little easier to do that. So my recommended picking for you would be down, up, 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 down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up, down. Okay, but do feel free to change it up how it works for you, because it doesn't really matter if you do a slightly different picking pattern to what Slash does. It's not going to change the sound, at least such a small amount that no one would notice. So do what feels comfortable for you is what I'd recommend. So first thing to do would be just to practice that one riff. Really spend a bit of time on that, make sure you got it nice and consistent. Because all that happens for the second riff is the very first note, instead of being played here with the first finger on the 12th fret of the 4th string, it moves up 2 frets and you use your first finger again on the 14th fret of the 4th string. So here's the first riff, second riff. Everything else is exactly the same. The only thing that's different is that first note has moved from the 12th fret of the 4th string to the 14th fret of the 4th string. Okay, so next step, twice on that, then here to the 14th fret on the first note. And when you feel happy with that, the first note changes now to the 12th fret on the 3rd string. Everything else is exactly the same. It's just here, there's the first note, there's the first note goes back to the original note. And that's the riff. So it's twice with the first note here on the 12th fret of the 4th string, twice with the first note being the 14th fret of the 4th string, but still played with the first finger, and then twice with the first finger on the 12th fret of the 3rd string, still with the first finger, and then twice back on this note, which is the note D. Okay, so the whole riff now, nice and slow. Fourteenth fret. Same thing now, 12th fret on the 3rd string. Back to the D. Let's have it one more time. So 12th fret, we do it twice, to the 14th, and again the 14th. Now 12th fret on the 3rd string. Okay, now there's this little variation that happens right at the end before it's kind of coming out of the riff. So instead of this having this, we continue the idea. So it's 15th fret, back to this note. This is the pedal. Then the 14th fret, 12th fret, 15th fret on the 2nd string, 12th, 14th, 15th, 14th, 12th, and then we stop and let those two notes ring together. So the very last time, put it into context for you. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, this riff is taking over from those last two times that we'd have with the first finger on the D. Okay, just one thing I need to mention because I have an OCD problem, and that is the very first time Slash plays this variation to come out of the riff on the original recording, he plays it slightly differently. What I've shown you is how he plays it live and how it is in the rest of the song, but the very first time he misses out this note and plays this one twice. So from here, all the rest is the same. Now I'm not sure if it was maybe an edit that they did when they were recording it or what, but I mean, it sounds great, and it's one of those little things, if you listen to it now you'll notice it, and when you hear him live it's always exactly as I've just showed you, but the you know, those of you who are really big fans that want to get it just like the record, you've got to double that note and miss out that one just for that very first time that you're going to play that riff. Well, I really hope you enjoy playing this all-time classic rock riff. It really is a good fun one to play this, and I'm hoping you'll be pleased to know that this is the first of a little series of Sweet Child of Mine lessons. We're going to be checking out the first, second and main solos as well, and some of the other parts going on in this song, because there's so much great guitar playing on this album and on this particular track by both Slash and by Izzy as well. It's a really superb tune. So get your ears on, lots of listening to the original recording so that you can follow along with the future lessons as well. So hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you for plenty more very soon. You take care of yourselves. Bye bye.